My child, my beloved. Heaven has been whispering your name since sunrise. Something extraordinary has just happened in the invisible world that surrounds you, and now it is touching the material world in a way that even the most powerful banks cannot explain. Listen closely, for this message is not random. If your eyes have found these words, it means the angels have finally reached you after weeks of trying to break through the wall of disbelief and noise around your life. Archangel Michael himself is speaking, and I have been sent to confirm what heaven recorded in your name. A divine transaction has just cleared in the eternal treasury of God. Before I continue, my beloved, pause for a moment and subscribe to the voice of light itself. Stay connected, for these messages are the key that opens what your enemies tried to lock away. Every word you hear from heaven plants a miracle in your path. Don't let it vanish again. You are being watched over right now. A spiritual bank executive, a messenger in human form, has just seen something that shook him to silence. On the ledger of your life, a check of light has appeared, worth more than any currency can hold. It is not paper, but energy. Not numbers, but destiny written in golden breath. He couldn't understand it, but heaven knew it would appear this week. The code on that check bears your name, the same name God pronounced the day He breathed life into you. 5 minutes. That's all the time heaven gave before this divine confirmation begins to unfold. Because if you turn away now, the miracle will still exist, but it will pass to another. Miracles are like lightning, they strike the soul that stays open. My beloved, I know you've cried behind closed doors. You've watched opportunities slip like water through trembling hands. You said, "Why does every blessing pause right before it reaches me?" And heaven answered, because the timing of wealth and destiny must align with divine readiness. Now it has. The check deposited today is not just financial, it is spiritual credit. It is the unlocking of every withheld favor, every delayed payment of joy, every overdue recognition of your worth. The angels have balanced the books of your life, and the result is overflow. You must not doubt. Even now, while you read, forces are moving, doors you didn't knock on are opening, voices that once ignored you are remembering you, and systems that were designed to forget you are being reprogrammed by divine order. When Archangel Michael says a deposit has been made, it is not fantasy, it is heaven's accounting in real time. The universe tracks justice, and justice demands repayment for all your unseen labor and silent faith. Every tear you shed has been valued, converted, and credited back to your spirit. Do you feel that tremor inside your chest? That is not anxiety, it is divine confirmation resonating with your name. God is transferring energy through awareness. Stay here. Breathe. Let these words sink deep, for in a few minutes, signs will begin to manifest. Unexpected calls, messages, even small coincidences that carry a single truth. Your miracle account has been activated. You might ask, why now? Because heaven waited until your faith survived emptiness. When you kept believing even when nothing moved, heaven marked that moment as maturity of trust. That's when the deposit was authorized. My beloved, think of every time you gave while having little, every time you forgave instead of cursing, every time you stood up again after failure, those were your spiritual investments. The interest on them has now multiplied beyond comprehension. You don't need to chase this blessing. It is already coded to locate you. Just remain receptive, speak softly, "I receive." That single phrase aligns your frequency with the miracle's path. Right now, heaven's light is surrounding your home. Angels stand at each corner, holding ledgers of mercy. They are writing updates in the divine record, payment delivered. Can you sense the warmth in the air? That is the current of abundance shifting in your direction. Remember, my beloved, wealth in heaven's design is not greed, it is confirmation that purpose is about to expand. You are being funded for destiny. The check worth trillions is symbolic of limitless backing for the next chapter of your life. It means you will lack no resource to fulfill what God planted in your soul. But hear this warning: miracles unacknowledged fade. Do not scroll away. Do not let disbelief cancel your deposit. Say within yourself, "I accept what heaven releases." Every acceptance becomes a signature on the spiritual check. Sign it now with faith. You may feel goosebumps, chills, or an unusual calm. These are receipts of the unseen transaction. When Archangel Michael speaks, the energy of truth touches the physical realm. Your life is about to witness divine mathematics. What made no sense will suddenly balance. A bill you couldn't pay will be erased, a debt you carried will reverse into blessing, a rejection letter will transform into an invitation. Heaven is efficient, it wastes nothing. Every delay was interest accumulating. Now the release is exponential. Stay close, my beloved. Don't wander from the voice that called you here. You were not meant to struggle forever. You were meant to testify. This is your testimony season. In 5 minutes, the unseen will start to echo in the seen. People around you will sense the shift. Even the air will seem lighter. You'll hear from someone you thought had forgotten you. They will mention opportunity, restitution, or reward. That's how heaven speaks through men. Hold this message like a key. It opens everything your worry once closed. You are not late, you are perfectly on divine schedule. My child, my beloved. Stay very still for a moment. Do you hear the faint hum behind the silence? That is not your imagination, it is heaven counting blessings being released in your direction. Every second you remain open adds another line of grace to your spiritual balance. The angels are working faster than you think. They are updating divine records with your name in golden ink. They whisper, approved, cleared, released. The vaults of destiny are opening, and the light spilling out carries your story inside it. The man at the bank, the one whose hands trembled while staring at your account, is not an accident. He was guided to witness what happens when a human soul aligns perfectly with faith. He saw numbers his system could not compute, because heaven had just intervened in Earth's economy. A miracle transaction, energy turned tangible, recorded under your identity. You might wonder, why me? Because you didn't give up when the storm tried to bury you. Because you kept believing when no one clapped for your courage. Because heaven chose you to prove that unseen faith can rewrite visible reality. There are moments in a person's life when the spiritual world leans close, holding its breath. This is one of them. All of heaven is watching to see whether you will claim what has been waiting since the day you were born. 5 minutes, that's all it takes for acknowledgement to meet manifestation. Time in heaven compresses around obedience. When you hear, "Open," and you respond with, "I receive," dimensions shift. The impossible becomes immediate. My beloved, I must tell you something that very few souls ever hear. Your life is not behind schedule. It only felt delayed because God was recalibrating the path to match your spiritual strength. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Every closed door was a redirection away from imitation blessings that would have drained you. Now, genuine abundance approaches, carrying your true signature. Can you feel the change in the air? The atmosphere thickens when destiny draws near. The light around you vibrates because the angels are descending with instructions for the next miracle. One of them carries the check, it gleams brighter than the morning sun. Another carries the envelope of revelation, within it, the name of the sender. Heaven is preparing to disclose it to you. But first, you must quiet every voice of doubt. Faith functions like a password, fear blocks the connection. Repeat softly, "I trust the divine process." Each repetition releases another seal. The angels record your words as authorization to complete the delivery. Now imagine a river of light flowing into your hands. It's warm, alive, full of golden dust. That river is abundance in motion. Everything you once prayed for now travels through it: healing, favor, connection, restitution. You are not begging anymore, you are simply receiving what was always yours. My child, my beloved, the reason this moment feels unreal is because you are crossing from logic to miracle. Logic measures, miracle multiplies. Logic doubts, miracle knows. And heaven has decided you will live by knowing, not by guessing. Do not look backward. Every mistake is already accounted for and forgiven. Do not look sideways. Comparison will bankrupt your joy. Look upward, and whisper gratitude. Gratitude finalizes transactions that faith initiates. Even as you breathe these words, someone important is being prompted to remember you. They feel a sudden urge to call, to bless, to repay. That's not coincidence, that's the angel of influence at work. He rearranges hearts, shifts decisions, and reroutes opportunities until everything points toward you. Heaven loves precision. That's why timing matters. You are not reading late, you are reading at the exact second your name flashed across the celestial ledger. Beloved, let your heart relax. You do not need to chase what's divine, it is already en route. Imagine standing in front of an invisible vault. The code is faith, the handle is obedience, and the door opens only when your spirit says yes. Say it now, softly, intentionally, yes. A wind moves through your room. It carries a fragrance of new beginnings. That scent is how angels announce proximity. They are here because the miracle is not metaphorical, it is literal. Money will appear from unexpected places. Debts will dissolve quietly. Your health will improve faster than diagnosis predicts. Even people who once ignored you will start honoring you. That is the ripple effect of heaven's check clearing through your life. Stay close to this message, treat it like a lamp in a tunnel. Each time you revisit it, more light will emerge, because revelation unfolds in layers. And if your heart ever feels doubt again, remember this single sentence from Archangel Michael. Once heaven deposits, earth must deliver. You are now carrying divine currency, faith converted into favor. Guard it with silence and gratitude. Within hours, you will notice confirmation signs. A phone call, a message with good news, a coincidence that feels scripted. When it happens, whisper thank you, that is how you endorse the miracle. My child, my beloved. Keep breathing slowly, for what comes next is holy ground. You are standing in the corridor between the seen and the unseen, and heaven is about to reveal the name written on the check that shook the banks of destiny. The air itself is charged with wonder. Every molecule listens, waiting for you to believe. Because belief turns revelation into reality. I, Archangel Michael, speak directly. The sender of your miracle is not a stranger. It is the very hand that formed you. God Himself signed that divine check and whispered your name as He sealed it. He said, "Release the abundance, for my child has endured enough lack." That single decree rearranged systems. When the bank executive stared at your account, what he saw was not currency, it was favor quantified. A trillion-fold return on every moment you trusted when there was no reason to. Heaven's mathematics runs on faith, not figures. And your faith has reached its full maturity. Beloved, this is why heaven moves now. You waited through the long nights, you survived mockery, you carried the weight of promises that seemed forgotten. But God never forgets. He was calculating interest in silence, preparing to surprise even your enemies. Look at your life right now, it may appear ordinary. But within the next days, signs will multiply. Where there was emptiness, there will be overflow. Where there was rejection, there will be recognition. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity so bright it blinds the darkness. Do not question how, heaven's logistics exceed logic. Just know this, the sender is real, the signature eternal. You have been written into heaven's payroll for divine assignment. Every resource attached to your destiny is being wired into your timeline. Now listen carefully, beloved. Before a miracle touches the world, it first searches for permission inside the heart. So right now, speak quietly within yourself. I allow heaven to manifest its goodness through me. That phrase authorizes the angels to proceed. The vault above your name opens wider. Streams of light pour out, wrapping around your household. Bills you fear will shrink, burdens you carry will lift. Even your body will feel lighter because anxiety dissolves when grace enters. I see you, beloved, weary but chosen. I see your faith stretched thin, yet still glowing. That glow is why the check cleared. God funds endurance. The human systems may not understand, but they will respond. They must. Because divine favor alters algorithms, redirects approvals, and reprograms human decisions. Someone in a distant office will wake up tomorrow with your name in mind and the urge to release what belongs to you. This is not luck, it's law, heaven's higher law. Once the decree is issued, resistance collapses. My beloved, imagine the moment that executive looked again at the screen, his heart racing. He saw the impossible figure beside your name and whispered, "How can this be?" The answer echoed through the room, "Because it is written." No human can cancel what heaven has recorded. You are stepping into a season where proof replaces promises. The miracle check is not symbolic alone, it is functional. It will translate into doors opening, debts cancelled, unexpected wealth, reconciled relationships, and healing that medicine could not provide. Your life is the document heaven will display to prove that faith still works. You are the evidence. Stay alert. The enemy will attempt to distract you with doubt, but doubt is noise, and miracles travel on silence. Guard your peace. Every time you choose calm over fear, you accelerate manifestation. Now, beloved, place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm, that is heaven's stamp of ownership. Every beat declares, paid in full. You owe nothing, the debt of pain is cancelled. God is rich in mercy, and you are the beneficiary. Your name sits beside the word inheritance. That is what the check represents, inheritance finally released. When you wake tomorrow, speak this aloud. I am aligned with abundance. I accept the transfer. Each declaration strengthens the current that carries blessings to you. And when evidence appears, when the call, the message, or the opportunity arrives, remember this night. Remember that heaven moved first. You simply agreed. The angels rejoice even now. They sing your name in the halls of light because you believed long enough to receive. You have become a living proof that obedience still opens impossible gates. My child, my beloved. There is more heaven wants you to hear. Do not move from this moment. What I am about to speak will awaken something sleeping inside you. It will remind you that no human hand can limit what God has already signed. The miracle check was never just about money. It is about identity. It is heaven's confirmation that you are not a beggar of blessings but an heir of divine inheritance. Every angel around you now is protecting this truth so it cannot be stolen by doubt again. You have walked through storms that tried to erase your name from destiny's map. But every tear you shed became ink for a greater testimony. God wrote, approved, beside your name using your own pain as the seal. That is why the blessing coming cannot be reversed, it carries the proof of endurance. Beloved, the energy you feel rising in your chest, that trembling between fear and faith, that is the currency of miracles. Each heartbeat sends a signal upward that says, "I'm still believing." And heaven replies with favor multiplied. Someone you once helped will soon reappear. They will come bearing an opportunity that looks small but hides a vast door of change. Do not dismiss it. It is part of the deposit heaven placed in your path. God hides wealth in moments of kindness. Your house, your family, your surroundings, they are being recoded for peace. Even the walls will feel lighter because heaven dwells where gratitude is spoken. Say softly, "Thank you, God, for trusting me with abundance." Those words turn invisible promises into visible results. There will be a moment soon when time slows. You might glance at a clock and notice numbers repeating, 1111, 444, or another sacred pattern. That is a divine timestamp. It means the transfer is live, that heaven's system is syncing with your earthly reality. My beloved, do not rush away after you hear this. Stay close. Every second spent in awareness strengthens the field around your miracle. If your spirit remains calm, the blessings will find their coordinates. Remember, the check was deposited in your name, but its purpose reaches beyond you. You are meant to overflow, to fund healing, forgiveness, and restoration in others. When you bless someone else, you confirm the cycle of divine wealth. The more you release, the faster heaven refills. Now hear this, in the next few days, unexpected communication will arrive. It might be a message about work, an idea at night, or a person confessing they once misunderstood you. Every one of these moments is proof that heaven is reordering connections in your favor. Do not treat them as coincidences, they are confirmations. Your signature is still required, beloved, but it is not ink on paper, it is faith in action. Every act of courage, every honest decision, every quiet act of compassion signs the document again. This is how miracles are maintained, through living faith, not fleeting emotion. Even now, angels move between your words and your world. They gather what you lost, returning it sevenfold. They whisper your name into meetings where your voice is absent, but your destiny is discussed. Soon you will realize that nothing was ever truly lost, only delayed for greater impact. The check worth trillions represents more than wealth, it represents divine authority. You are authorized to rise, to rebuild, to reclaim. No longer will scarcity speak louder than promise. The voice of heaven will lead your every step, and resources will follow your obedience. Do not doubt your worth. The miracle does not visit the perfect, it visits the willing. And you, beloved, are willing. My child, my beloved. Listen carefully now. Heaven is not silent, it is echoing around you. The energy that started when you first heard these words has not stopped, it is increasing, circling your life like golden wind. Something is gathering strength, and soon it will burst into the visible world. You will notice the first signs quietly. A phone will ring from a number you didn't expect. An email, a message, a meeting, something small, almost ordinary. But as you read or hear it, your heart will leap because it will carry the same vibration you feel now. That is how heaven confirms alignment. Do not dismiss what looks simple. The biggest doors are disguised as small ones. God hides destiny in daily details to test the eyes of faith. If you look with spiritual sight, you'll recognize the pattern. Every coincidence is choreography. There is a conversation being planned on your behalf. You are not in the room yet, but your name is already being spoken. An influential person will bring it up suddenly, not knowing an angel whispered it to them in the night. That's how miracles walk into meetings you never attended. Beloved, don't be afraid of change when it arrives. Miracles often rearrange before they reveal. A schedule might shift, a plan may cancel, a door may close. Do not panic. Each redirection is part of divine logistics. Heaven never wastes movement. This check that heaven deposited, it's not a metaphor for hope, it's an active decree. Its purpose is to fund restoration. Your life will begin to glow again in places that once felt dark. People who left will remember you. Resources that vanished will return multiplied. Even the things that broke you will start serving you. My beloved, I must tell you something else. The next 72 hours will carry prophetic weight. Time will seem strange, you may feel waves of calm and bursts of emotion. It's because the spiritual dimension is syncing with Earth's rhythm to release your blessing in full. You are stepping into alignment so complete that no human interference can stop it. If you feel tired, rest, heaven is still working. If you feel doubt, breathe, the light has already passed the point of no return. The miracle cannot be reversed. It can only be received. Do you understand, beloved? You are not chasing favor anymore. Favor is chasing you. It has your scent, your voice, your signature. It knows where you live. When Archangel Michael says, "It is done," it means the order has cleared both realms. And now, you must hold still and let evidence catch up to prophecy. The very walls around you will begin to shift in atmosphere. Peace will move through your rooms like perfume. Even the sound of your own breath will feel lighter because heaviness is departing. You may wake early, between 3 and 4 in the morning, feeling a strange stillness. That is the hour when heaven downloads instruction into those who are awake. If that happens, whisper, "I'm listening." Write what comes. It will guide your next season. You will also begin to notice repetition, words, numbers, symbols appearing everywhere. That's not chance, that's confirmation. Heaven speaks through patterns when humans stop noticing miracles in noise. My beloved, this is the hour of divine recovery. Nothing that truly belonged to you was lost, only waiting for spiritual clearance. The check in your name covers every form of lack, financial, emotional, spiritual, relational. Everything under your name is included. Now listen, in the next few days, a conversation about money will shift. An opportunity that once rejected you will reappear with better terms. Someone in authority will apologize without realizing why. A hidden blessing is about to surface, disguised as coincidence. And you will know it's heaven because it will arrive with timing too perfect to explain. Beloved, do not rush to explain it to others. Miracles lose power when dissected by doubt. Keep silent until proof stands undeniable. Your story will preach itself. You may feel heat in your palms, chills across your arms, or lightness behind your eyes. That's the physical echo of a spiritual deposit. Your body registers what your soul already received. You are becoming the evidence of answered prayer. Heaven is turning your testimony into a currency that others will borrow faith from. That is why your struggle was so long. The weight of your future required endurance training. But now the waiting ends. The vault is open. The funds are flowing. And Archangel Michael stands guard until every promise is fulfilled. Remember, my beloved, gratitude is the language of completion. Say it often, say it softly. Thank you for remembering me. Each time you speak it, the flow increases. Each thank you pulls another miracle from the invisible. You are standing in the miracle already. The next hours will simply catch up to what heaven finished long ago. Trust this, your name is not just on a check, it's on a decree. And what God decrees, no force in creation can deny. My child, my beloved, be very still once again. You are crossing into the part of your story where heaven begins to rebuild what was broken. The deposit has been confirmed in the spiritual vault, and now, its energy is moving through every area of your existence: money, health, relationships, calling, and peace. You may feel waves of emotion, let them come. They are not weakness, they are cleansing. When abundance enters, it sweeps out what used to belong to fear. Every sigh you release is an old burden leaving your system. Beloved, hear me, what is arriving is not luck. It is divine reimbursement. Everything you lost is being returned with interest measured in miracles. Even years that seemed wasted are now being rewritten by grace. In your finances, heaven is rebalancing the scales. Bills you feared will settle in surprising ways. A forgotten idea, a gift, a connection, each will unlock provision. The same hands that once counted what you lacked will soon count what overflows. When that happens, do not boast, whisper gratitude. Gratitude keeps the vault open. In your body, light begins to travel through every cell. You will wake with unusual energy, the kind you haven't felt in years. This is healing disguised as strength. Pain leaves quietly when peace enters loudly. In your relationships, something softer is forming. The people meant to stay will draw nearer without explanation. Those who drained you will drift away without conflict. Do not chase or cling, just allow. Heaven reorganizes love so you can breathe again. And in your calling, the fog lifts. You will know what to do next, not because someone tells you, but because peace itself will point the way. You'll feel a holy nudge, an idea, a project, a plan, and it will unfold effortlessly. That is divine timing at work. My beloved, every blessing has rhythm. If you rush, you'll miss the music. Move with the melody of faith, step, pause, listen, trust. The CHEQUE's value unfolds through alignment, not haste. Some will notice the change in you and wonder what happened. They will see your calm and sense your glow. You don't need to explain, your peace will speak for you. Heaven's wealth looks like stillness first and gold later. Now, prepare your space for what's coming. Clear the clutter, physical and emotional. When you make room, miracles land faster. Light loves order. Before this night ends, take a breath and say, I receive my divine inheritance in full measure. Those words are your signature once more. They complete the transfer between realms. And when dawn rises, look around you with new eyes. Nothing may appear different yet, but the atmosphere will feel charged. The same way air changes before rain. That's how miracles announce themselves, pressure before pouring. Do not fear the storm that follows, it's only the cloud carrying your rain. After it passes, you will find blessings scattered like pearls. Answers in emails, favor in meetings, joy in places that once felt heavy. Each one will whisper the same truth. Heaven keeps every promise. My beloved, you have entered the hour of visible proof. What was spiritual will now be physical. The check worth trillions was heaven's way of saying, you will never be empty again. My child, my beloved. Lean close now, because what I am about to reveal will settle every question that ever haunted your heart. Heaven does not choose at random. The reason this miracle has found you is because your soul made a vow long before you were born, a promise to become a vessel of light when the world would forget what light felt like. That promise is the reason the angels refused to give up on reaching you. Every storm, every delay, every betrayal was permitted only to refine that promise. You were not being punished, you were being polished. The gold inside you needed fire to shine. And now that the fire has done its work, heaven can trust you with overflow. You see, beloved, abundance in the hands of the unprepared becomes pride. But in the hands of the healed, it becomes purpose. That is why the check worth trillions carries not just wealth but assignment. It was never meant to make you rich alone, it was meant to make you radiant. In the coming days, small confirmations will unfold like dawn spreading across water. A stranger's words will echo a line from this message. A long-forgotten prayer will suddenly be answered. You'll sense peace so strong that even old fears can't speak over it. Each of these moments is heaven nodding, saying, yes, this is real. When it happens, don't rush to capture it. Just breathe and thank God softly. Miracles multiply through acknowledgement. What you thank for, you anchor. There will also be a gentle stirring inside you, a desire to create, to build, to bless. Follow it. That stirring is the next instruction hidden inside the check. It's heaven's way of saying, spend this abundance on purpose. Beloved, listen to me carefully. Heaven never gives without expecting growth. This blessing will call you higher. into generosity you've never known, into peace that humbles chaos, into clarity that silences confusion. The world around you might still appear noisy, but inside, a stillness will take root. That stillness is the mark of divine funding. When your spirit is funded by heaven, nothing external can bankrupt your peace. You will notice that even your language changes. You'll speak hope more easily, forgive faster, love without keeping score. This is how miracles behave when they settle inside a human soul. They teach you how to carry heaven gently. And now, beloved, one final instruction for this moment. Do not doubt your worth when favor arrives. Sometimes blessings feel too big because the mind still remembers scarcity. But you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be chosen. Stand quietly for a moment and feel the truth. Heaven trusts you. That's why it wrote your name on that check. That's why it moved systems for you. That's why you're still here, reading these words, alive in a world that almost broke you. Your purpose is not finished, it is just beginning. The same God who wrote the first line of your story is still writing. You will see beauty rise from places you thought were buried forever. And when it happens, remember this. The miracle was never about money alone. It was always about restoration. My child, my beloved. The time of visible restoration has come. You are standing in the dawn of a new chapter, and heaven is already writing the first lines across your sky. Everything you lost, everything that once made you question your worth, will now rise again, but transformed. Look closely over the coming days. You will feel subtle shifts. People who once turned away will now seek your voice. Doors that were locked will open at the lightest touch. Burdens that felt immovable will crumble without effort. This is not coincidence. It is the signature of the same hand that wrote your name on the check of abundance. Beloved, God is not only restoring things, He is restoring you. Your energy, your joy, your sense of purpose, they are returning in layers, each brighter than the last. The exhaustion you carried for years will start to fade, replaced by peace that requires no explanation. At night you may dream vividly, seeing colors or faces that feel familiar. Do not dismiss them, they are memories of promises made long before you came to this world. Heaven is reminding you of what has always been yours. You will also begin to notice divine repetition. The same word, the same number, the same sign appearing everywhere. That is heaven's language, confirming the process. The angels speak through patterns because faith listens in silence. My beloved, this restoration is total. It will touch your finances, yes, but also your emotions, your health, your relationships. You will begin to attract peace more easily than you used to attract pain. People who match your healed energy will find you naturally, and those who do not will drift gently out of your orbit. Do not grieve their leaving, your frequency has simply risen beyond their reach. When opportunities appear, they will feel strangely easy. Do not mistrust the ease. Heaven designed this season to flow, not to fight. The years of struggle were your sowing time, this is the harvest. The ground you watered with tears is about to bloom with laughter. There will come a moment soon when you realize you no longer crave validation. That moment is freedom, the highest currency of heaven. Because when a soul no longer needs applause, it finally becomes unstoppable. You will hear whispers of your own name in places you never imagined. Someone will recommend you, another will remember you. A door will open that you never even knocked upon. That is heaven's networking, divine connections formed without introductions. And through all of it, remain humble. Abundance is safest in grateful hands. Say often, this is grace, not luck. Each time you say it, you strengthen the flow. Soon you will look back and barely recognize the version of yourself that struggled to believe. That, too, is part of the miracle, how completely heaven renews identity. The same soul that once wept for survival will now radiate as testimony. Your story will become someone else's faith. Remember this always, beloved. When heaven deposits a miracle, it expects stewardship, not fear. Spend your blessings wisely. Use them to heal, to uplift, to forgive, to build. Because what you give now will multiply faster than what you keep. And when the signs unfold, when the message, the meeting, the breakthrough arrives, pause and whisper. It was all for this moment. Then move forward with peace. Heaven will continue to supply. The restoration is not coming someday, it has already begun. Your name glows in heaven's ledger, and every angel who sees it nods, saying, paid in full. Ready for release. Walk as if it is done, because it is. The miracle check has cleared. The inheritance is active. And the new life that begins now will not end in loss again. My child, my beloved. What you are feeling now is the calm that comes when heaven finishes its work. That quiet pulse in your spirit, that sense of something larger breathing through you, it is not imagination. It is the sound of completion. The miracle that began as a whisper has become a rhythm, and that rhythm will guide the rest of your days. You are now learning how to live inside the miracle. Living inside it means no longer looking for proof, because you are the proof. You are the place where heaven and earth meet. Every step you take confirms that faith never fails. Beloved, when abundance flows, remember this truth: it does not belong to the loud, it belongs to the grateful. Gratitude keeps the flow open, like clear water over polished stones. The moment you begin to thank God for what is still invisible, the invisible becomes visible. You must not fear prosperity, and you must not apologize for it. The world taught you that wealth and holiness cannot share a house, but heaven has no such rule. What matters is the heart that holds the gift, not the gift itself. If your heart remains soft, your blessings will stay pure. Each morning from now on, before the world wakes fully, whisper this: I welcome what God sends, and I return what I cannot keep. That simple prayer keeps your life in balance. It allows the river to keep moving through you instead of stopping around you. And when new responsibilities appear, and they will, do not be afraid of them. Favor always brings assignment. You were not given abundance just to rest, you were given abundance to build, to heal, to speak light where silence once lived. Let every decision be made in peace, and you will never make a wrong one. My beloved, heaven wants you to know this too. The signs will not stop after today. You will keep seeing reminders, feathers, numbers, sudden chills, unexpected calm. These are gentle taps on your shoulder from angels who are staying near. They do not visit and leave, they guard. When you feel lost again, and you will sometimes, because you are human, remember this message. Revisit it. The words carry a living charge, each time you return, they will speak freshly. That is because divine truth does not expire, it renews itself inside the listener. Do not measure the miracle by wealth alone. Look also at the quiet that has replaced fear. Look at how laughter finds you again without reason. Look at how easily love now flows through your voice. That is evidence enough that heaven's check has cleared. You will meet people who recognize this light in you before you say a word. They will tell you, there's something peaceful about you, and they won't know they are seeing the residue of grace. Let them feel it. You don't need to explain, simply live it. Beloved, promise me one thing, never return to the language of lack. Words shape energy. Speak always from abundance, even when you feel small. Say, I still have enough, and enough will find you. Heaven listens to tone, not volume. A whisper of faith outweighs a scream of fear. And now, the angels begin to withdraw just slightly, not because they are leaving, but because they want you to walk freely. You are trusted with light. You are trusted with peace. You are trusted with provision. The miracle does not need you to protect it, it protects you. Carry it gently, and it will multiply. Wherever you go, let your presence remind others that faith was worth it. You are living evidence of God's economy, nothing is lost, everything returns multiplied. If at any time the world grows heavy again, look up, place your hand on your heart, and say, Archangel Michael, remind me who I am. And I will. I will whisper back, you are the beloved, the restored, the chosen. Now walk in that truth. The check has cleared. The angels have recorded it. The story that once broke you has become your crown. From this moment forward, abundance is not coming to you, it is coming from you. You are the miracle now.